starting a major release. Is there anything you think that we as a committee and a table ought to do or talk about prison release, and how can we help target help for the people getting out that need help before somebody turn back around and wind up back in that revolving door because they haven't been out and they don't know where the resources is or the people to contact, and people get frustrated and wind back up in that cycle again. So, Scott?
As you know, I did some research with the HAS program a couple of years ago. And from that experience, and it's real common sense, but I think when people come out, they need to be adopted. Ideally, if your family pulls you back in, it's good, but the research says that within about 3 days, if you don't get connected with something correct, you're going to kind of go back to what's familiar, and that leads you back down the path. I mean, I'm speaking from theory, but so adopting, in other words, a family, grabbing a hold of this person, and then maybe ceasefire can work as a resource to help the family figure out what to do. Because it may be a mother, an aunt, a sister, a brother that really hasn't gone down that road. They want to help their sibling, but they don't necessarily know how. It may be the ceasefire can play a role in helping that person to deal with the rest of them as well. And then I think also ceasefire is very much connected to resources all over the place. So a lot of times it may be a certain kind of counseling or a certain kind of help or a certain kind of psychological treatment that you might be able to give to either the person coming out or the person's family member. But I would really focus on the family and helping that key family member not to reject this person, especially when they go through some changes because they're not used to being out.
Well, actually, and I was going to refer to Sergeant Scott as to everyone being on alert, being notified of what's coming to what particular area, and we really can't service a population unless we know where they're coming from. I mean, if everybody is strategizing and service certain areas, and that's not where the influx of people are coming, how do we determine where we need to put our resources?
At this point, I can look into it specifically because we know where they're coming out. Now I need to look at what information I can legally release, but it'd be a real good idea, if nothing else, maybe if ceasefire can be made available to whoever is interested in some kind of support, maybe that could be the connection. So if an organization that can touch bases with a parolee family says, here is some information, the ceasefire committee, they are a group of people who might be able to help you, help your relative. That might be a positive way to start, and then that would give that family an opportunity to reach out to somebody from ceasefire, or if they're open, somebody from ceasefire can go and contact them. Off the top of my head, that might be a real good way to go. If there's something here that's available for people to reach out to. Maybe if you guys can be available on Wednesday nights, that'd be a real good idea. On Wednesday nights, set aside 10, 15, 20 minutes just for that purpose, where you talk about issues, and it could just be a place where I'm letting my relatives stay with me, but these are my problems, what I'm dealing with. At this table, there's probably the wisdom that could help that family member go another week and not kick the person out. Because I think that's what happens a lot of times. You just rub somebody the wrong way, you get kicked out, and now you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, maybe just to reiterate what Sergeant Scott was saying here at ceasefire, if we could get them to come in, because I really haven't had any problem with reentry. I'm glad my brother Justin came in, even though he's not reentry, he's gone through the process, a second call, and he's a first-year apprentice. He's actually working at Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital. Taco sent a guy, Fat Rat, from his neighborhood. Fat Rat came in, I bet against him. I said, man, he ain't gonna last. Because him and the other three guys, they like, yeah, we ain't with no class, we just want a job. And I said, all right, and I walked away. But Fat Rat came back. He took the test, took the oral interview, he passed. He's an electrician. He's gonna be working in about 4 or 5 days, probably by Monday, if not Monday, next Monday. So it's a lot of opportunities out there, but the people who come, talking about they want a job and don't want to go through the process. They don't want to go through the life skills. When they've just done 12, 13, even 2 years in prison, they don't want to sit in a setting. So if they don't want to do that, let's bring them here. Let's bring them here and let's sit them in a structured setting and get them ready and let them know that they are no longer in charge. They ain't running the streets, they ain't running the tier, they ain't running the yard, that they got to get reintroduced into society. It's really very simple. And from whatever community they come from, let's just help them. We can help them here. This is a neutral location.
And that's going through a process of getting some men and women ready for job or whatever it is they need. Is there any way we can find out what you guys' facility will have to offer that we will probably get at least referrals or people brought to there for some of the services that you're talking about? Because we got at least over 2,400 men or women getting out over this weekend in these communities.
Well, we found that after doing many surveys, that we found that people who become criminals, the only reason they became criminal is because they lost their self-respect. And we have courses, training, all these free to the community so they can, again, regain their self-respect and not revert to any sort of criminality.
To restore self-respect.
Yeah. And one of the things we have, it's called The Way to Happiness. And it's about 21 precepts. The things you, like, take care of yourself, take care of the environment, be industrious. And we have, on a DVD, we have pictures that you can see each one broken down. It gives you example. You first, like, be industrious. You see these 3 kids and they're just hanging out and the whole house is dirty and it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? So they're just hanging out. And then I guess one of them realized, let's be industrious. So they got up and they started cleaning and putting everything away and throwing all the liquor bottles away. And next thing you know, they had a sparkling, nice, pretty house. And the girls walked by and they were like flirting with them. So it's a nice message. And all of the precepts have a great message to it. And you can see it, it's visual as well as written. And that is definitely something that would help those guys that are coming out. Guys, men, women that are coming out.
Well, how about this here? Is there any services that you guys want to provide to people coming back to the community?
Example.
Any drug programs, any anger management program, any kind of program like that to help?
We have drug programs. We have drug programs. Anger management, that's sort of a psychiatric type of area. We don't do that. Anger management is learning the cause of why you're angry. And once you know the cause, you can change it. You're not an effect of it. You can change it. You can become better. So that's the way we gear it towards. You finding out what's causing you to have these problems. How can you help yourself? Not somebody dictating to you, well, you had a problem with your mother or your father or whatever. You get to learn and develop your own self, your own individuality. we are welcoming them.
Again, for Sergeant Scott, as far as logistics, the type of inmates that are coming home, nonviolent offenders, we need to know what can we anticipate. People who've been incarcerated for selling drugs. As we know, today's drug dealers aren't necessarily your typical 80s, 90s drug dealers where they were selling to get the bling bling. You actually have people that sell drugs today just to keep the lights on, the gas. And I'm not justifying any of that, but I'm saying it was a means of survival for a lot of people that sold drugs, that do sell drugs today. If that is the case, in those logistics, could we know what type of prisoners or inmates are coming to the community?
We're not gonna have sex offenders, nonviolent, so low-grade felonies. I think those are the two. I'm not looking at the list, so I can't tell you definitively, but they would be the least threatening. I don't know if anyone else has any kind of input as far as exactly who's going to be coming out. But I can say, once they come out, that information is public. So we can say, when a person comes out, this is what he was convicted of. Now, the question I have is, how quickly can we offer this meeting as a resource for that community? Meaning either the person being released or his or her family.
What, in terms of scheduling?
I mean, just, I come here, I let my brother stay with me. He's doing A, B, and C. Now, what do you offer? How do I help him? Getting that kind of insight.
I would say beforehand, and whoever else can chime in, is that we would need to talk to the people who are legally responsible for him or her at that point. Sometimes there's parole conditions, probation conditions that won't allow you to go to certain areas, be in certain environments, things like that. So we won't be calling them to a meeting where they're not supposed to be at or haven't been approved. So we probably want to get the buy-in from the people who are going to be legally responsible for them first.
And again, I'm thinking